here this week, but we've got some great international competitors. So we've got a flag processional to feature some of those people. So there it is. Let's start us off right here. Brianna Ainsley is representing Canada. Let's give it up for them. Director Extraordinaire Juha Kuta, representing Finland. Gilles Ban, representing France. This is a special request from this individual, Simon Peter Lazat, representing Germany. Charlotte Dunkley, representing New Zealand. Victor Nyhus, representing Sweden. And last but not least, Emporia's own Paige Bjerkes, representing the United States of America. You can see some of our statistics of our international competitors here. A fantastic international field that we have. We are so excited. If you have made the trip to GBO this year, thank you so much for helping make this event even better than it is every single year. Thank you guys so much. You flag processional people may be seated. Thank you. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage the Emporia State University Choir, who's going to lead us in the singing of our national anthem. Excellent work, you guys. We probably should have invited you up earlier for the birthday song. Hindsight's 2020. Really quickly, again, to speak to our international competitors. Like I said, thank you so much for coming to this year's GBO. We do have a special token of our appreciation for you guys traveling to Emporia. So, if you haven't picked that up, make sure and find it. We appreciate you being here. Without further ado, let's get to the man, the myth, the legend. I guarantee he lifts more than you in the weight room. Give it up, Jeremy Rusko. Come on up.
I have seen some stronger individuals out here this weekend. Robert, thank you. I understand why you wanted to do the birthday deal. You wanted to sing up here on stage. So, anyway, guys, welcome to the Glass Blown Open. You guys did it. You made it to Emporia, Kansas. I know that a lot of you guys have been saving up for months or a year or even more than a year, so it means so much to us to have you guys make that commitment to spending a week or even more here in town with us. So again, thank you again. So far this week, I feel like I've already heard from hundreds of you saying that this has already been the best disc golf event that you guys have ever been to. And that really just makes us feel good, and I can't even, we haven't even started the event. So can you imagine what the rest of the week's gonna be like if you've already been having the best week? We're always working on something, and we're gonna make sure that this is a good week for you. By a show of hands, how many first-time GBOers do we have out there? I'm always surprised by how many first-timers we have, and that is something that keeps me excited and gives me an opportunity to talk about the history of the Glass Blown Open and the history of dynamic discs. So tonight, I'd like to start things out by telling you a story about dynamic discs and the Glass Blown Open. My first story is about the humble beginnings of the Glass Blown Open. Believe it or not, this event didn't just start out as the largest event in all of disc golf. We have a lot to be thankful for today, but the disc golf event that Eric McCabe and Gabe Worley started back in 2003 had some pretty humble beginnings. 2010 World Champion Eric McCabe certainly deserves special mention in regards to this event, as he takes more pride in this event and sacrifices so much to make the Glass Blown Open the best disc golf in the world. Let's give it up to Eric McCabe. Oddly enough, many of you probably didn't even realize that dynamic discs wasn't even around when McCabe and Worley hosted the first Glass Blown Open with 88 players. Ron Converse took home the Glass Blown Open trophy that year. The first 3 years of the Glass Blown Open saw less than 100 players at each event. The next 5 years featured player counts into the hundreds. I played in my first Glass Blown Open back in 2005, which was the third Glass Blown Open, when Eric McCabe talked me into playing in the event the night before and suggested that I play in the intermediate division. It was my first tournament, and I didn't even know what the PDGA was. 4 rounds later, and I took home my very own Glass Blown Open trophy. It was in the intermediate division, but it still meant the world. That year, Eric McCabe also took home a Glass Blown Open trophy. At this time, dynamic discs was my college hobby that included 2 shelving units full of discs in the attic of my college house, selling a few discs a week on eBay. Let's fast forward to 2008. The Emporia Disc Golf Club, which was basically Eric McCabe, Gabe Worley, and Nate Martin, turned over the event to dynamic discs. That year, we welcomed 2-time world champion Barry Schultz to the Glass Blown Open, and we were thrilled to have 142 players. Dynamic Discs was now 10 shelving units of discs in my second basement and selling tens to hundreds of discs a week. A good day of sales was measured by whether I had to utilize the '94 Ford Explorer instead of the moped to get everything to the post office. True story. 2009 brought Nate Doss and Avery Jenkins to the unknown Midwest Emporia community, and we upped the player count to 143. Dynamic Discs expanded to a new house and a new basement, with discs overflowing into the garage. That year, we sent Nate Doss home with his very own Glass Blown Open trophy. In 2010, we had 188 players, and McCabe won his third Glass Blown Open trophy. It was shortly after this event that my wife had finally had enough, and Dynamic Discs got kicked out of the house. I'd like to stress that it was just the business that got kicked out of the house, and that was actually a good thing for all of us here today. It wasn't until 2011 when things started to take off for the Glass Blown Open. 354 players showed up, and we had our first ever $20,000+ payout. Cale LaVisca and Val Jenkins took home the glass that year. For the sake of time, let's fast forward to 2016. This is the year that we all have something and someone to be so thankful for. So many people ask how we can host such an amazing event with so many people. An event of this magnitude is certainly no small undertaking. The answer is simple. We needed someone who was willing to jump in head first, and I think that we finally found that guy. We have had to stop the candy games ever since, but Doug Bjerkes accepted the event's role in February of 2016, and that year we hosted the largest event in disc golf history with 1,120 players. Doug was named the 2016 Tournament Director of the Year by the PDGA, and we are also thankful to have him on board at Dynamic Disc today. Doug, you're a rock star. Thank you. That year, Cam Todd and Katrina Allen took home the Glass Blown Open trophies. This year, we welcome almost 1,600 players, plus hundreds of volunteers and spectators, to Emporia for the largest event in all of disc golf that also features one of the best payouts and the best overall experiences. A couple of years ago, we introduced a new tradition, the Champions Trophy and Trophy Wall at the Dynamic Discs retail store. Be sure to take a minute and check this out. This trophy and tradition are thanks to Troy Whidden and Joe DeVito of Gyroscopic Nature, who donated this to the event a couple years ago. If you have been a champion and taken home a glass blown open trophy in any division, please stand up to be recognized at this time. Come on, look at us, the champions. We like to think that the Glass Blown Open is like your disc golf Disneyland. We planned for this week for an entire year, and we want you to have nothing but the best experience. Crispin Carrasco with Hand-Eye Supply Company quoted, "Living the dream," several years back, and I certainly hope that you lived the dream this week. During this week, I hope that you can find your GBO moment and hope that you can share it on social media. Earlier this week, I had my first GBO moment when the group of Estonians that are staying right across the street from the country club making a bunch of noise invited me to join them for dinner. Thank you guys for letting me crash your party. You guys are awesome. I think that it was about 5 years ago when another GBO moment happened for me, and that's when a guy by the name of Sally came up to me at the country club, gave me a hug, shed a tear, and told me that I had saved his life because coming to the Glass Blown Open got him through some tough times in life. Disc golf does some amazing things, to say the least. Our vision with this event is to grow disc golf, and I believe that we're growing disc golf by bringing the Emporia community together to get behind the sport. A couple weeks ago, while I was out playing our local bag tag league, that's right, I still play disc golf, guys. I had the opportunity to play with some new faces, and a guy by the name of Brian really stood out to me. I asked Brian how long he'd been playing disc golf, and he said since the Glass Blown Open. I asked how he did, and he said, well, I didn't play. But Brian had went and bought his first disc at the Dynamic Discs retail store on that Saturday of the block party because all of the excitement and energy that the Glass Blown Open brings around disc golf. The Glass Blown Open makes a tremendous impact in our community, and we are getting new players constantly because we put disc golf in front of almost everyone in Emporia. Did you have a chance to see the Emporia Visitors Guide while you got checked in? That's pretty stinking cool to me. Flip to the middle and you'll see a whole bunch more disc golf. Each and every one of us has the opportunity and ability to grow disc golf, and here's my challenge to you. When you get back home, take someone new to the course and share your passion of disc golf. Chances are that person will end up becoming an avid disc golfer, and if you go above and beyond and take out more than one person, think about where the sport's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. One of our core missions at Dynamic Discs is to grow the sport. We have been giving out hundreds of discs to new disc golfers. This is our My First Disc campaign, and it is pretty cool to see how this grows the sport. Check out growdiscgolf.com for more information, and let's grow the sport together. Speaking about growing the sport, if you live in the Emporia community and watch the television, you've probably seen this commercial about 100 times.
Dynamic Discs and ValueNet Fiber would like to invite you to watch live disc golf action of the 2019 Glass Blown Open, April 24th through April 27th. Watch the top men and women in disc golf battle it out at Emporia Country Club all 4 days of competition. We also invite you to come out to the bonfire at the Lyon County Fairgrounds on April 26th from dusk to 11 p.m. and the GBO Block Party in downtown Emporia from 5 to 10:30 p.m. We hope to see you there.
I've seriously seen that about 100 times, and I absolutely love it. I think it's pretty cool, and I'd like to say thanks to ValueNet Fiber for making this a reality and growing the sport through the most important media channels. Tune to Channel 3 all week, and you'll be able to watch everything Glass Blown Open. And now it's time to talk about the media coverage that we have this year. Jomez, SmashBoxx, we believe in you guys.
Everybody, this is Bobby. Daddy Slick Breeze. And you guys know I like to keep it real. Well, I'm about to keep it real. We've had a lot of disc golf coverage for you this Glass Blown Open. We've got SmashBoxx bringing you MPO1 and FPO1 live coverage. We got Jonas with the post-produced FPO1, MPO1, and MPO2. We've got Gatekeeper Media with FPO2 and Dynamic Discs Media bringing you MPO3. We'll be telling the story of the Glass Blown Open through photography. This Glass Blown Open has a lot of disc golf coverage. In fact, I believe it's the most covered disc golf event in the history of mankind. Okay, maybe not the history of mankind, but it's a lot of coverage. So make sure you give it up for the media. If you see them, give them a high five, give them a hug, maybe slip them a $5 bill, whatever it takes to let them know you appreciate all the work that they're putting into the Glass Blown Open. All right, Jeremy, I'm gonna let you take it over. I appreciate the time. That's a good looking dude right there.
Happy birthday, Bobby!
Pardon the interruption. One day in the near future, I believe that our efforts with the Glass Blown Open will put this event on major sports network such as ESPN. Let's take a minute to watch some highlights from previous years.
I bet he gets it.
Yeah, boy.
Maybe even better.
I believe that the Emporia Country Club makes for the perfect venue to broadcast and highlight the top talent of our sport. This event is a PDJ National Tour event, and we love partnering with the PDJ to bring this event to you. We've also partnered with the PDJ to host the Junior World Championships. Last year was the first year for the PDJ to support a standalone Junior World Championships, and the PDJ put their trust in Doug Bjerkes and Dynamic Discs to be the driving force behind the event. We spoiled almost 200 juniors last July, and we look forward to growing the event in 2019 and 2020, and hopefully beyond. I feel that there is no better place to host the Junior World Championships than Emporia, Kansas. At this time, I would like to bring up Sean Sinclair of the PDGA.
So on behalf of the PDGA, we'd like to welcome you to the Glass Blown Open. We're always super
super excited to come to this event, A, because of all of you, and of course this amazing staff and volunteers. They've been here since the weekend, getting everything ready for you guys. We couldn't be more pleased with their efforts. In addition to me, we also have, if you were here earlier, Steve Hill from PGA doing our media. And our newest events team member is Todd Lyon. I also heard rumors that our new youth and education coordinator, Des Redding, is also here. So Andrew Big Dog Sweeten couldn't be here, and I'm gonna do my best to come across to you what is the most elegant rule in our sport that we can use when we have issues with any type of conflict or competition. Who knows what that is? Provisional. Yes, please play a provisional. We have course tournament directors and assistant directors at every course. If you have an issue, please bring it to them, and then ultimately if it can't get resolved, they'll bring it to us and we'll try and take care of it for you. I think that'll do it. So, it's my pleasure to introduce somebody that's getting a PDGA Service Award tonight. If you've lived in this area or gone to St. Louis, you'll know who I'm talking about. A couple of things about Dave West. He joined the PDGA in 1978, PDGA number 752. He's been playing in the White Birch League since 1981, and they just started their 108th league. He has kept stats for that since day one. He's been a St. Louis club member for 30 years and was recently inducted into the Missouri Disc Golf Hall of Fame last year. He served on the board of directors for the PDGA from 2013 to 2018. In that time, PDGA growth went from 20,000 current members to over 40,000 current members. He was the vice president of the board for 3 of those 5 years. And he helped revive the PDGA Senior Committee, which saw the membership of those seniors more than double in that amount of time. So, without further ado, let's give a big hand for Dave West.
Wow, what a crowd. So, the first thing I want to do is PDGA board, volunteer position. Running tournaments, volunteer position. I want to give a shout out to all the volunteers that are helping to run this tournament. All you players enjoy it, because I know when you go back home, you're probably volunteering at your home course, and that's what helps drive the sport. The last thing I really want to say is that even though I'm not on the PDGA board anymore, it's kind of because I wanted to get back home to St. Louis, and I'm running the age here in 2 months, so please come join us in St. Louis.
So again, welcome, thank you for being here, and I just want to say have a great time and good luck this weekend.
Emporia knows disc golf, and we also know how to welcome disc golfers from across the world. Did any of you happen to notice just how many local businesses changed out their billboards and marquees, painted store windows or chalked their sidewalk, or even placed a disc golf basket in their store to support the event? Your business means a lot to everyone in town, and because this event has such an economic impact, I think that it's time to pass this over to the former mayor of Emporia, Rob Gilligan.
Welcome to Emporia. Thank you guys. for joining us once again for the GBO, one of the greatest weeks of disc golf that the world sees. We're super excited to have you in our community. As Jeremy said, the impact that you bring to us, the knowledge, the experience, and really just the enjoyment to our community. I'm going to say this with you, and I hope you understand me. For those of you that have been here before, let all the new people here understand. Emporians are going to stop you. They're going to want to know where you're from. They're going to want to know your story. They're going to want to know what brought you to the community, and they're probably going to thank you for spending your time and your dollars in our community, and we appreciate that. So we hope you have a great week. For those of you competing, we hope you have a great tournament. Compete well, enjoy yourselves, and thank you very much for being in the community that really kind of considers itself the center of the disc golf world. We love having you here. We love the support that DD provides, and we appreciate your enjoyment. We hope you have a fantastic week. Thank you all very much for coming.
We also have another special guest here in town who would like to come up and say a word, and that is Kansas Senator Jeff Longbine, who's coming out for his first ever time to this player meeting. And it's his actual birthday tomorrow.
Sure. Wow. On behalf of the state of Kansas, Governor Laura Kelly, and the residents of the 17th Senate District, welcome and thank you for being here. This is an incredible crowd. We are so proud to have you. A big thanks to Jeremy and his staff, 1,600 players, 2,500 to 3,000 people in town is amazing. I know you're here to play golf, but there are other activities that you can do while you're in town, and I would encourage you to check those out. There's a great art center right next door. William Allen White Historical House is about 3 blocks that way. Tallgrass National Prairie in Chase County. You could buy a new Chevrolet on the west end of town. If you're not into the educational and historical side of Emporia, feel free to hang out in our great restaurants and drink a shitload of great craft beers. Every one of you have a great time while you're here. Players, shoot your best rounds ever. And before you leave, hit Jeremy up and make sure that you have the 2020 Glass Blown Open entry form that you can turn in before you leave. Thank you very much. Best of luck.
Thank you for that, Senator Longbine. Now it's time to transition over to the presenting sponsors that help make the players' packs awesome and that pay out one of the best on tour.
Hello, my name is Thomas.
Hello, GBO Players. I'm David.
And I'm Thomas.
And we are from Sweden.
And today I'm going to show you the factory tour.
So get ready, buckle up, here we go.
Good to meet you.
Always.
I'll play some awesome disc golf.
We are Latitude 64.
Hi, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Thomas.
Welcome to the Latitude 64 Factory Tour. We are disc golfers from Sweden. 2005 we decided to make our own discs.
The feeling of a good disc is that it's not too stiff, it's not too soft, it has a good grip. That's the overall feel of it for the disc is something I really look forward to. Buying the best material, having the best machines, but still we have to look over every disc in a human eye just to ensure that you're on the quality you want to.
It's not just the flight or the feel of the disc. The should look good. Bright colors and compelling graphics.
Our discs are used all over the world, and it's an amazing thing to see. We have multiple world champions these days. I couldn't dream of that 10 years ago when we started.
We just want to make the best discs in the world. Thanks for stopping by.
Come on up, guys. Come on up. You don't get any
Thank you, Jeremy. Oh, hey everybody, how are you doing? So my biggest challenge here today is that I'm gonna have to make Thomas talk, because that's one of the hardest things. So, and he said that I'm not gonna talk today, so I just got one question for him. Do you love your wife?
I do.
He talked! It's a blessing to be here as always. The DD crew and the volunteers is just amazing. I've been coming here like year after year after year, and I will never stop coming back, no question about it. What? We're confused over here. It's great to see a lot of new faces here as well. I wish you players have a great time. I want to thank, where's Jeremy? Where's he go hiding all the time? Hey, what are you doing back there? Get out there. We want to make sure that we will continue to do the best discs in the world. We want to continue to work heavily with Dynamic, to work with the Latitude brand, the Dynamic brand, and the Westside brand. I definitely hope that you have tried the Gatekeeper, otherwise do that. That's an awesome disc, I tell you that. It was in the player pack, by the way. What else? Thomas?
I really don't have much to say. Thank you for being here.
We gotta try one thing. We never done this because this is a dream that we have to do. Okay, so let's try and see if this works. USA, 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 USA.
Let's give it up for these guys. A lot of people ask me what has allowed Dynamic Discs to continue to grow through the years. While the answer seems so complicated and complex at times, I can promise you that it is because I believe that we have the most motivated, the most passionate, and the most dedicated staff in all of disc golf that is committed to growing the sport. There has been one person who has stuck with me since the early days of selling custom-dyed discs on eBay. I think that it is important to point out someone who was so much under the radar and so much behind the scenes that you'll likely never get the opportunity to know this person unless you know a thing or two about a thing or two at Dynamic Discs. Clay Hauser is the glue that keeps Dynamic Discs together. Clay used to dye discs and ship out eBay orders when things got busy, or I decided to go play in a tournament. Clay started working part-time for Dynamic Discs in 2007. In 2011, after graduating from Emporia State University, Clay had a very difficult decision to make. Clay either had to get a real job or he had to figure out how to help make Dynamic Discs the most awesome disc golf company on the planet. I told Clay at his graduation party that we would one day become a $1 million company, and I hoped that he could stick around to see that happen. Well, Clay, that happened quicker than both of us thought, and neither of us knew that the future would bring so many people together. Thanks for sticking with me, and thanks for being the glue that keeps everybody together at Dynamic Discs. Clay hates attention, by the way. In just a few short years, we have gone from my eBay-based college hobby selling a couple discs a week into what I think is a monster of an operation that directly supports around 50 individuals and families who are on the Dynamic Discs payroll. Dynamic Discs' family, and I believe that the thing that sets Dynamic Discs apart from other manufacturers and companies is the family atmosphere and the fact that each of you are part of our extended family. We are honest, motivated, passionate, and treat others by the golden rule. When you consider which brand to follow, which products to buy, which tour and pros to support, which YouTube videos to consume your time, I hope that you don't forget about us, because your support is what keeps all of us getting up in the morning to come and grow the sport. At this time, I would like to recognize the Dynamic Disc staff for making Dynamic Discs awesome. Let's give it up. Thank you guys. And now a quick welcome video from the crew of Dynamic Discs.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open in Emporia, Kansas. What's up? We're excited that you're here.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Glass Blown Open. Go! Have fun and disc golf Disney.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Glass Blown Open. Hope you have fun.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open, guys.
Welcome to Emporia and the Glass Blown Open. Hope you all have a great time and good luck.
Welcome to Emporia, welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
Welcome to Emporia, Kansas.
And welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
Thanks for coming out to Emporia, Kansas.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open.
And good luck out on the courses.
Welcome to the Glass Blown Open. We are so excited to have you here in Emporia.
You guys are up. I talk a lot about family because Dynamic Discs is family, and tonight I want to express my appreciation to the entire disc golf community for allowing me to bring my family back together in Emporia. 4.5 years ago, we hired my brother to take on our national sales director role and relocate his family from Charlotte, North Carolina. It wasn't long after the move when my parents followed behind. All of us are so thankful for the disc golf community. All of us are so thankful for the disc golf community for being the catapult to bring our family back together. I thank each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Love you, Jamie. Everybody else. Love you too, Wendy. Mom, got to keep working on that page wave, though. Got some work to do there. Last year, we introduced the United States Amateur Match Play Championships. I hope that many of you had the opportunity to play in one of nearly 250 local brackets across the United States and Canada. This event series is going to grow, and we were excited to crown the national champion, Matt Whitlock, in Emporia last year and send him home with discs for life and an 18-hole veteran course. If you haven't had a chance to play in this series, I encourage you to consider the doubles edition and or the women's edition that will begin to take place in July and conclude in September. It is as easy to host a bracket as it is to play, so if there isn't one in your area, reach out to us so that we can establish an event at your course. We have hosted some pretty cool events throughout the years and rented out some pretty cool stadiums. Our first 3 disc golf experiences were held in Jerry World when we rented AT&T Stadium and hosted a pretty cool disc golf experience. The following year, we rented out Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, and last year we rented out Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and like to think that we had part of their success. Each stadium event has been super fun, and we encourage you to join us this year. I'll let 2018 World Champion tell you a little bit about this year's event.
What's up everybody, Jake Griff is here, and we are excited to announce that the Dynamic Disc Stadium experience will be at the Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado. All day. When you sign up, you choose your tee time. So if you want to sign up with friends, make sure you sign up at the same time and choose the same tee time. is a VIP experience pass available, and that includes food and drink after the event, a CTP throwdown at the end of the event in the stadium, and also have the opportunity to play with the top pros like me and other of the pros that are going to be on tour. So sign up as soon as you can. I know I'll be there, and we look forward to it, and we're excited to see you there.
Come see us at Mile High Stadium this summer. Every year it seems that we have a new product that is popular and in high demand. Well, this year, the Raider has seemed to destroy the competition. Want to give our products a chance but not sure that it will fly like you want to? No problem. Buy something this week, test it out, and if you don't like it, bring it back to the retail store, and we'll replace it with something that you need. This is the Dynamic Discs Buyback Program, and there are almost 300 stores across the United States that support this program. Buy it, try it, and if it isn't what you wanted, we'll swap it out and get you what you need. Thanks for sticking with me during these opening ceremonies. Have fun this week, enjoy the courses, enjoy the friendships, but most importantly, enjoy the reason that you started to play this game in the first place, and be sure to be dynamic all week long. At this time, I'd like to welcome up the best tournament director on the planet, and the reason that we can host 1,600 players in Emporia this week. Please go crazy for Doug Bierkes.
Alrighty, welcome to the Glassblown Open. This is always one of my favorite times of the event to see everybody here. I also want to welcome in those that are next door at the Emporia Arts Center. We're actually simulcasting the players meeting over there because we've got this place filled up. It's pretty exciting when we need to be at 2 different locations. Hey, before I get started, I do want to talk a little bit about the disc golf that we're going to be playing. There's all kinds of things going on tonight, this week, but the most important thing is the disc golf that you're playing in the A tier and the NT, and we have a super staff of TDs that I want to bring up on the stage to introduce. These are the guys that are going to be talking to you every day before you tee off about the course you're playing, about what's in the caddy book. Let's bring these TDs up, and I want to introduce them to everybody. Come on up, you guys. They're usually a little quicker than this. Hey, let's start out at the country club with the NT. We've got Ryan Draper from Waco, Ben Marks from Texas, and Dave Montine from Florida working out on the country club. Hey, these 2 guys have been TDing at the Glassblown Open for, I think, forever. Coming from Texas, working Peter Pan. 2 of my favorites, Steve-O Story and Brad Crow. If you're playing Jones East, you're going to be talking to 2 Pennsylvanians. We've got Dustin Leatherman and Seth Hogan working Jones East. Let's keep it in Pennsylvania for a little bit. TDing out at Jones West, we've got Mr. Disc Golf Mike Solt. And apparently the left winger for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Dustin Fournier. We do have some new TD teams working out at Swope Park, the Boyce Baumgartner Memorial Disc Golf Course in Cottonwood Falls. We've got Tony Sisko and Will McCaskill. Another new group of TDs we've got coming from Colorado, a place that's very near and dear to me. We've got Lenny Siegel and Steve Howes working Muni Blue. We've got another group, great TDs. They've been doing this for a little while at the Muni Red course, the Physics of Flight course. We've got Jeremy Panucci from Ohio and Porter Yax from Texas. These guys, I think this is their second home. They live in Arkansas, but then they call the Eagle Disc Golf Course in Olpe like their second favorite place ever. And that's Matt Lloyd and Bear Faulkner. Out at Clover Cliff, a great private course we've got from Minnesota, home of the 2020 Super Bowl champion Minnesota Vikings. Jason, I heard that, that's awesome. Jason Wilder and Mike Smith from right here in Olpe. I also want to give a shout out to Derek Brookert and Mike Petrin, who are doing some of the Flex Start double disc C-tiers. These guys come out and set up a different course every day. Thank you guys very much. Hey, again, when you guys are out at your courses, if you have any questions, these guys have all the answers. Let's give it up for the hardest working crew of course tournament directors on the planet. Thank you guys. Alrighty, I do want to take just a little bit of time to present a special award. Each year we have a glass-blown trophy. Sorry about that. A glass-blown trophy that we give out to somebody that does something very, very special, not necessarily on the course, but off the course. This guy, if you don't know him, he has been doing countless hours of work on courses across Emporia as long as I've lived here. The last 4 years, every time there's a chance to do something to help improve disc golf in Emporia, he just says, how can I help? When can I do it? And I'll do it right now. And he's got like 3 speeds, fast, faster, and lightning. Those are his 3 speeds. But this year, he doesn't know this is coming, but the special recognition GBO 2019 trophy goes to Clint Kessler. Ninja, ninja, ninja. If Clint were to give a speech, he would not need this microphone. That is for sure. Hey, a couple things about this week, and I want to kind of go through this pretty quick, but the first thing is that you guys do have a caddy book. I want to make sure that you all know that that is very important. It's got good information about all the courses, the schedule, everything else that's going on. Please have your caddy book with you. I also want to let you know that we have an app. Every year we put a new app together. The 2019 GBO app has all kinds of great information, messages, course maps, schedules. Everything you need is in that app. If you have not downloaded the app, please do so. If you want to know when you're playing, all the tee times for tomorrow are posted at pdga.com. We'll have those tee times updated each night before play. Please go to pdga.com and either look at the NT or the A tier to see when you are teeing off the next day. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to UDisc. UDisc is here doing live scoring. These guys have revolutionized the way I watch disc golf, and it is super cool to have them here again this year doing the live scoring out at the country club. Next, for you guys that are playing for money, that have a chance to win money. I play for money too, but I never have a chance to win money. But those of you that have a chance to win money, we are trying to do all of our payout via PayPal. Your course TDs will probably talk to you at some point during the week to verify your PayPal address. But if we can pay you via PayPal, that's what we'd like to do. We obviously will also pay with a check or with rolls of nickels if you want to do that. Next, I want to talk about our volunteers. They are wearing purple shirts this year to match the color of the 2020 Super Bowl champion Minnesota Vikings. And these guys are busting their tails out there. If you see someone in a purple shirt this week, tell them thank you, because this place would not be what it is without our volunteers. With that being said, I want to make special recognition, and I do this every year, and every year it just means more and more, the work that Jackie Morris does to get our volunteers going. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Jackie. Hey, for you AMs that are playing, every single card will have a winner this week for the AMs. We have some great I Won My Card prizes. If we'll flip to the next slide, you'll see that truly unique Infinite Discs and Disc Golf Center have stepped up, and if you win your card as an amateur this week, your course TD will give you a voucher, take it to the retail store, and we've got a great prize for you. So go out and win your cards. Next thing I want to talk about, this is for the ladies only, but Bob Barber out of Kansas City has put up $350 to pay out to any female competitor that gets an eagle this week. So if there are multiple eagles, that'll be split up. But for you ladies that are out there, let's get some 1s on the par 3s and some 2s on the par 4s, some 3s on the par 5s. Get yourself some money. Thank you, Bob Barber. Hey, a couple things about the logistics of parking at the country club. The country club has a parking lot that is meant for the players that are playing. If you are MPO or FPO, you got a badge when you checked in today that says you are MPO or FPO, and that is your ticket into the parking lot at the country club. If you do not have that badge that says MPO or FPO, you will not be able to park in the parking lot at the country club. However, the lower parking lots at Emporia State University, there is plenty of space to park there. It's about 1 block from the basket of hole 1, so it's not a terrible walk, and we'll also be providing some shuttle service back and forth between the parking lots. So if you are not playing at the country club, please park in the side streets or at the Emporia State University lower lots. Next, Clover Cliff. Those of you that are playing at Clover Cliff, it's important to know that the parking there has changed this year. Last year we parked in some lower lots, but this year, if you'll flip the slide, we're parking in a main lot at the top of the hill, basically. So if you play Clover Cliff, park at the top of the hill. Some of you guys are going to be playing our temporary courses at the municipal golf course. We have the blue hand-eye course and we have the red physics of flight course. Really excited about these. We've gotten some great feedback on these courses from last year. If any of you guys were here on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, when the wind was actually blowing over the baskets, that wind is gone and we're not going to worry about that, but it's a fantastic course. When you get there, you want to park in the main parking lot, or if you look at this map, the road, the long road that goes into municipal, you can park on the south side of that road, but not on the north side of that road. You guys will have fun playing municipal. As we put those courses together, I always tell myself, man, I really want to play this course. Unfortunately, it's not in the ground very long. Okay, next, lost discs. I want to thank the folks at DZ Discs. They are managing all of our lost discs this week. We don't want people swimming in any of the ponds that you're throwing over. We've got people that are raking and diving for those discs. Those discs will be at Emporia Main Street, which is about a block down this way, and this is all in your caddy book. That's where you can go and reclaim lost discs, and then if you haven't reclaimed your lost discs by the block party at the end of the week, the DZ Discs booth will have all of those lost discs for you to go through. Hey, one thing that would really help, and I'm still amazed at how many people don't do this, but simply writing your name and telephone number in a disc will get you a phone call. We're calling everybody that loses a disc that puts a phone number in their disc. Write your name in it. Next, we in the past have had the Brickyard 20 shuttle here. We have a new shuttle this year, and I'm really excited about this. The fine folks at Bourbon Cowboy, at Williams Automotive, and a couple student groups at Emporia State University have a shuttle that will run from, I believe, 7 o'clock till pretty late on most nights, 7 p.m., 2 a.m. on the weekend. There's a number. This is on the back cover of your caddy book, the back inside cover of your caddy book. There's a number you can call. You can schedule a time to get picked up, schedule a time to get dropped off. I'd encourage you to use this if you're having trouble getting to a course. I'd also encourage you to use this if you think you might have trouble getting home. Let's be safe out there. Hey, how many of you guys checked out your player pack and saw a fresh copy of the new magazine, Physics of Flight? If you haven't, check that out. We're really proud of that publication. That's something that we've done in-house this year, and we love to grow the sport, and we think that part of growing the sport is through publications like this. Take a look at that. It's exciting to read, and it's got someone pretty cool on the cover. All righty, next. We're getting close here. I do want to thank the folks at Sweet Granada. They are huge supporters of this event. If you haven't gone and gotten your free chocolate bar, they're just 2 doors down, and you got a voucher in your player pack. Go get you a free chocolate bar. Want to thank the folks at Coldwell Banker. I know we're talking about a lot of sponsors here, but these are the folks that make this event what it is. These guys go out and feed our TDs every day, and we're extremely grateful for that. Another shout out to ValueNet Fiber. Jeremy talked about that. They're outstanding. Senator Longmine talked about a large quantity of craft beer, and I want to talk a little bit about that because we have not one, but 2 official beers of the Glass Blown Open. Our friends at Radius have partnered with Valerie and Nate at Bevel Beer to create an awesome beer that's being sold at Radius, and the folks at Walnut River have also put out a special seasonal release that actually has, it's called Birdie Pills. It's got a DD logo on the can, and let's take a watch at this.
We wanted something that really appealed to disc golfers as well, but it wasn't too heavy. So this beer here is going to be light, clean, easy drinking, a little hop characteristic to it, something you can keep drinking all day long.
This collaboration though is a brand new one where we actually worked with Dynamic Discs, which was a lot of fun, and Walnut River Brew, who's some of our oldest friends in the brewing industry. So yeah, it's just a brand new experience, brand new beer. It's our first beer ever to be in cans, which is really exciting. Yeah, it's been a cool experience just to kind of show how everybody can work together.
Awesome, check that out. I think every liquor store in town is selling Birdie Pills in cans. Check out that DD logo on those cans. Hey, if you're not a beer drinker, maybe you're a wine drinker. And for the 2nd year in a row, Wheat State Wine has an official Glass Blown Open wine. Check out Raider Red. It is awesome. Next, real quick, thank the Gazette, our local newspaper. They cover disc golf all the time. They're big supporters of disc golf. Zuka. How many of you all like your Zuka cards? Bruce from Zuka is actually here. We want to thank him again and again for his support of Dynamic Discs events. Both the Junior World Championships as well as the Glass Blown Open are heavily supported by Zuka. Bruce, thanks for the great cards you make and the great support that you give us. Next, I want to thank Nextech. Nextech provides hotspots for all of our TDs so that we can do super fast scoring. Thank you, Nextech. I also want to thank Genesis, the health club, right up the street here. If you want to get a 1-week membership, it's 10, that sounds like a 1 week, that's WEEK membership. For 10 bucks, you can work out as much as you want, you can shower, you can do what you need at the health club. Thank you, Genesis, for that $10 GBO week membership. Hey, we've talked a lot about Emporia. I cannot tell you how much the city of Emporia backs this event. Everything they do, from the Parks Department to the government, everyone really believes in disc golf here. Thank you to the city of Emporia. Okay, I'm in the home stretch here. Thanks for being patient. 2 blocks down this way is the Lyon County History Center. And with the help of Bill Paulson, there is a display of almost 20 original baskets from different courses around Kansas. So, if any of you guys ever complain about today's baskets, take a good look at these. Seriously, if you want to go check that out, the suggested donation at the museum is $5. There's a book you can purchase that tells a story about all these baskets. Really, really impressive that there's a museum display looking at the history of disc golf. Hey, tomorrow night, if you guys want to laugh, there will be a comedy show that we are presenting right here, thanks to our friends at ESPN Radio and KISS Radio. These guys actually spent some time on the phone with me asking about disc golf. They wanted to work disc golf into their repertoire. They asked me who the GOAT was in our sport. So if you think that I said you, I would show up to this comedy show and see what they have to say about you. Anyhow, comedy show, those tickets are only $10. It'll be right here in the Granada tomorrow night. Hey, if you guys are coming to the poker night on Thursday, poker is sold out. However, if you show up at the country club, there might be a way to get in. We can't promise you that. But one of the cool things we've got is a very special disc that Westside put out. You can see the king and the queen and some other folks playing some poker there. That disc, as well as a set of the official Dynamic Discs GBO poker cards will be available for sale at poker night. So check out poker on Thursday night. Next, the Bourbon Cowboy. How many of you guys have been to the Bourbon Cowboy? Alrighty, the Bourbon Cowboy. Here I am. The Bourbon Cowboy is running a mini disc golf tournament. It's the first GBO mini disc golf tournament that we've officially had. There's a 9-hole course in the bar there. Tonight is actually the last night that you can try to qualify. So once we're done here, if you want to head down there, they had a local glass blower put together some amazing trophies, only to be rivaled by the ones that we're giving for our event. But go out and try to win yourself one of these glass-blown trophies by being the first ever GBO mini disc golf champion. Again, you can qualify for that tonight at the Bourbon Cowboy. Alrighty. Okay, we really are getting towards the end here. The bonfire, Friday night. Please join us at the Lyon County Fairgrounds for what is going to be a huge bonfire, a huge party. Lots of fun out there. Make sure you attend that on Friday night. Out at the bonfire, we will have a $1,000 Ace Challenge. There are putters that are available for sale at the retail store. They're $10. You can buy up to 2 of those, and you can throw at about a 200-foot shot that night at the bonfire. And if you are the only person to ace that, you will get $1,000 of store credit in Dynamic Discs. We'll split that up into smaller parts if we have multiple aces. That's always pretty exciting. The first year we did that 2 years ago, we had 2 aces, and they were definitely crowd pleasers. Go ahead and get those discs at the retail store. Hey, on Saturday, we have changed our schedule up here, and we got a lot of different feedback on changing from being a 3-day event that went Thursday, Friday, Saturday to being a 4-day event where the A tier goes Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, but the NT finishes on Saturday. This is our request of you guys. We want you to be part of the largest gallery on site in disc golf history. So after you guys who are playing in the A tier finish your disc golf on Friday, go to the bonfire, have a good time. By the way, there'll be lots of beer there for sale. Enjoy that, including the Walnut River stuff and the Radius stuff we were talking about earlier. But on Saturday, go to the country club and check out the greatest disc golfers playing today as they compete for the Glass Blown Open Trophy. Check that out on Saturday, and let's be part of the largest on-site disc golf gallery ever. Following that round, we have what we're calling the Raz Round. This is actually the Rainwater Raz Round, and if you guys are familiar at all with this, this started in Nantucket. Todd Rainwater put this thing together, and if you haven't seen what this is all about, take a look at this little video here. So unfortunately, the volume's not working on this particular video. However, I guarantee you the volume will be working at the country club on Saturday. You will have an opportunity to go buy a ticket that gets you a cowbell. That ticket also gets you an opportunity to potentially caddy for one of the teams that's going to compete in the Rainwater Raz Round. And it also gives you the chance to take that cowbell and ring it as loud as you can, making as much noise as possible, while our top 4 men and top 4 women in the MPO and FPO partner up in teams to play 3 holes of doubles at the conclusion of the Glass Blown Open. Those tickets for those cowbells will be on sale at the retail store starting at noon tomorrow. We will also have them for sale at the country club immediately following the final round of the National Tour Saturday round. Couple of things and we'll be finished here. The block party on Saturday night is always a great time. For the first time ever, we sold out of vending spaces. So the whole place is filled with vendors. Lots of cool disc golf stuff that you can buy. There's a huge ring of fire. Lots of good times there. We'll have a beer vending system there where you're actually going to use tokens instead of cash. You'll buy tokens when you come to the block party, and those tokens will be good for beer all night long. Couple things here, and then we're done. I got 4 more slides, and then we will be finished. I want to thank the folks at Disc Store. Disc Store has come out, and they ran a super class event today, and on Sunday, if everything we've provided for you disc golf-wise isn't enough, they are running a doubles tournament at Peter Pan. Go to discgolfscene.com to register for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you to the Disc Store for adding more events to already a great week. If you are interested, for the 4th year in a row across the street, the great folks at Eagles Wings Disc Golf will be doing a chapel service at the Presbyterian Church right across the street tonight. Go check that out. That is an awesome experience. Hey, you guys who are spectators, who got the spectator badge, you have this disc as part of your player pack. This disc commemorates the 6 folks that were on the pro panel earlier this evening that answered your questions. Bring that disc up to the stage as soon as we're done here, and they will sign that disc, all 6 of them. I do want to remind people that those are the only discs they are signing tonight. Don't bring up other stuff to sign. This is for them to just sign this particular disc. We do have some of those for sale. If you want to buy one of those discs, they're 20 bucks, and you can come up on stage and have those guys sign those discs. That's going to happen immediately after we're finished here. Last but not least, our last slide. From the bottom of my heart, I want to encourage all of you guys to have an incredible time playing rock solid disc golf, making new relationships, making new friends, and enjoying the Glass Blown Open. Good luck, and let's tear it up. Good evening, everybody, and we will set up the stage for the signature session. If you have the signature disc, start a line over here, and once we have everybody up on stage, we'll get those discs signed.
Enjoy your week.
You too.
Yeah, you too.
No play?
No. I'll be commentating on the MPO and
Is there any chance that you would be coming to talk on